Hello, my friend. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Today, I am parked on the side of this little road, which is like an entrance to this local trail that I just love to frequent. And yeah, there's a van, like a van that people live in, parked at the normal parking spot. So I stopped here, figured it has a bit of a nicer view anyway, even though it's like technically still on the road leading up to it. It's not the actual parking spot. It don't matter anyways. Today, I I have been inspired by some people on YouTube, right? Specifically Jacob frickin' Jones and Connie Ramos. And they are cigarette YouTubers, right? So, but I don't do that. But you know what I do? I do Monster Energy. I like energy drinks. And so I figured it would just be a beautiful thing to sit here with you today and just enjoy a nice cold original Monster. Haven't had one in a pretty long time, and just yap. I'm not good at yapping. uh it's definitely a skill I gotta get better at. So yeah, let's get right into it, shall we? First, let's just talk about this beautiful product a little bit. Of course, original Monster was not the original energy drink. It copied Rockstar, who copied Red Bull. But we got 54 grams of sugar, 210 calories, quite the dose of riboflavin B2, niacin B3, vitamin B6, I believe is pyridoxine, vitamin B12, cyanocobalamin. You hear me? We got 166 milligrams of caffeine, 2,000 milligrams of taurine, 500 milligrams of grape skin extract. I don't know what that does. It's wacky. 10 milligrams of D-glucuronolactone, 10 milligrams of guarana, 10 milligrams of inositol, and 20 milligrams of sucralose. We also have a bit of a promotion right here for Call of Duty Black Ops 6, where you can get rewards. Very interesting indeed. Now, let's get into it, shall we? A beautiful experience. Sippington City, shall we? Cheers, my friend. It's delicious. It's the classic. If you're drinking something along with me today, then cheers. Bam. If you're not drinking something, cheers anyway, because that's what's up. All right, what would I like to talk about today? My actual subjects. Well, yeah, I guess I could elaborate a bit on my inspirations. So I really like the like those two cigarettes YouTubers specifically, because they like they're talking to you and it just feels like you're hanging out with them in real life. And I just really like look up to that. It's like you're sitting with an old friend and you're just like chilling, but it's a YouTuber. And it's I think specifically with Jacob Jones is that like he just does like the most realistic boring shit, but he makes it interesting. And also that he doesn't cut his videos, which is cool. Like, yeah, that's cool. I watched the okay, I realize I'm just talking about YouTubers I like now, and I don't really want to be just making YouTube videos talking about the YouTubers I like. So, instead, I will talk about my reason for wanting to do this. So, I'm someone who I am autistic. I have some difficulty sometimes with like having things to say to people. Like I'm not that bad at conversing, but I just like don't really know how to start conversations most of the time. Like it feels to me like people have like thought generators in the back of their head, and like that's where they get all their thoughts from and like their ideas, and that's where they start conversations because they have a quirky thought and they want to share it to people because the other people are going to have thoughts too. But I don't really have that. Like I do have it, but it's like I don't have as much of an instinct to share those thoughts with people, you know? So it's kind of rough in that department because it's like, yeah, I don't always have like things to say to people. And so I figured it would be a very interesting experience for me to do something like this where I'm just talking for a while of course enjoying a beautiful energy drink. Now, why am I drinking an original Monster today? Out of all the things out there I could be doing, why am I enjoying this beautiful Monster Energy? Well, you see, my friend, I love energy drinks. And like, not on a normal level. Like, I love energy drinks, okay? And before you go there, I you're gonna call you say I'm addicted, which I don't know. Maybe I am, maybe I'm not. What I do know is that I love caffeine and it makes me happy. So yes, I have to try to make an effort so that I don't abuse it, you know, and so that it keeps having a positive place in my life. You know, I need to make an effort for that. But does it have a bad effect on my life? I don't think so. Not at this point at the very least. Sure, there have been times where it's has been a coping mechanism, but not right now. And it's something that I love, I appreciate, and I savor every second of it, you know? And my favorite part of it is trying new drinks, right? I have and I collect them as well. I have over 300 energy drinks, which that might sound it sounds like a lot, but it might, if you're American, it might not sound like that much because America has like this infinite, never ending market of energy drinks, right? But over here in Canada, it is a lot more limited than that, right? I have pretty much every single energy drink that is available in my province. I have almost okay, not the majority or like not almost all of them, but I have a bunch that I needed to get online as well. And there are still some that I'm missing, like some from the especially from Quebec. It's mainly Quebec ones. They have a fairly big like market of energy drinks that are only available there. And yeah, other than those, I have like pretty much everything that's available here. And I just appreciate trying new drinks so much, you know? It's I just like trying I like trying new things, you know, like but very specific categories of things. Like if I'm at a restaurant, a new restaurant, I need to try their burger. Like whatever their classic burger is, we have a restaurant here called Classic Burger and they're delicious. Whatever their classic style burger is that everyone there loves, that's what I'm trying. I just gotta have it. I gotta compare it to all the other burgers out there. And I'm kind of like that with energy drinks, you know? I don't care if it's a Monster or if it's a sugar-free drink or if it's like a super healthy natural drink. I just want to try it. I want to know what it's like. I want to know, like, and I like looking into them and like seeing their different places in the market, you know? Like Rockstar recently has been like super into making these more soda kind of drinks where it's mostly just caffeine and sugar. Like you don't have next to no taurine. You still got the B vitamins, but like they've got that place, and Bang is and Rain are like your classic pre-workouts. Though here in Canada, the caffeine is limited to 180 milligrams, so there isn't much difference between like a Rain and a Monster Ultra, which is pretty interesting, if I do say so myself. What was I talking about? Yeah, I like knowing like their different places in the market. Like Red Bull always has confused me a little bit because, but I heard the other day that they're a premium, they try to see themselves as a premium energy drink brand, which makes sense because they are smaller, they're half the size of everything else, but they're the same price, right? That's why it really confused me. The other thing with Red Bull is that they're almost all sugared flavors. And yeah, recently they've started going more into sugar-free drinks, but that's only recently, you know. For the longest time they only had, like, they pretty much only had sugared drinks, which is, you know, really weird in this modern market of energy drinks where everything is sugar free, you know? So it always confused me what their marketplace was, but, you know, they're kind of just the classic, and they're like in this premium, they see themselves in this premium category, which I don't know if I even fully like agree with, because how are they the premium product if like the default product, you know? They're the energy drink that's literally everywhere, you know. But anyways, yeah. I just like looking into like all those tiny little things. Like I like learning about the ingredients as well. Super fascinating to me to learn what all this different shit in there does to your body, if I do say so myself. What else? Oh damn, this view is nice. The sun is peeking out just a little bit. I'll allow you to see that. Looking pretty marvelous, if I do say so myself. Gonna take another sip of this Monster, shall we? I think when I reviewed this, I gave it a 9.6. And I don't know if I fully agree with that. I might, if I was rating this right now, I would probably give it maybe 9.2, 9.3. Very solid drink. I might honestly choose Red Bull over it these days. Like, I just love that tartness that Red Bull has to all their flavors. And Monster gives you just this much more classic feeling sweet drink, whereas Red Bull is like very unique. And I want to like add a side point to that. Bucked Up is my current favorite energy drink brand, which I actually have. Give me a moment. I have this Bucked Up water bottle, and this is my like default water bottle that I'm using all the time, right? If you catch me out in public, I will have that water bottle on me 9 times out of 10, my friend. My apologies, excuse me. The carbonation, it gets to you. So yeah, Bucked Up my favorite energy drink brand. I don't think they have a single flavor that isn't like just awesome, you know? And they got 6 flavors out here. Let's see if I can remember them. Blue Raz, White Gummy Bear, White Gummy Deer actually, Sour Gummy Worm, Miami, Mango Tango, and Wild Orchard. Wild Orchard really surprised me. That one was like a more juicy flavor. It was awesome. Anyways, the Sour Gummy Worm flavor from Bucked Up is a contender for the best energy drink I've ever had, right? I still need to try the Sour Bucks and the C4 Grape Popsicle and the Rainbow Sherbet side to side to know which one is my true favorite. But those are my top 3 for sure. And Bucked Up is just amazing. And yeah, that's why I'm talking about them right now. The comparison to Red Bull, right? Because I feel they are both these very innovative and different products, because Red Bull is like your standard sugar energy drink, but it has this tartness to it that is unique and gives it such a distinct like layered complex taste, right? That's what's really sets it apart for me, is that tartness in the taste. And Bucked Up is kind of the same to me, because they have this unique type of sourness in there that just really works. It just really works with all of their flavors. And I think it's because of the the acids they put in there. They have tartaric acid and malic acid, which aren't in a lot of drinks, and so it gives it this different feel of like sourness than usual, which it just works. It works incredibly well for him, and I'm very grateful that they decided to come to this market, because yeah, there's still a lot of American companies that haven't entered the Canadian market yet, and I'm glad Bucked Up is one of them that is here, because they are freaking fantastic. Rise 2, super good. I'm just ranting about energy drinks now. I need to talk about some other stuff. Let's talk about my unemployment. As you might know, or I don't know why you would know if you're watching this on YouTube, unless you know me in real life, which why are you watching this? But it's okay. I love you, probably. I might not, actually. I'm joking. Yeah, so I am actually unemployed. You know, a lot of autistic people are unemployed. I feel like, I don't know if the lighting is working right now, because the sun is coming from that side. Should I turn around? I might want to turn around, actually. I think I'm going to do that right now. And I'm not going to... You know what? Seatbelts on. We got to stay safe, y'all. I am just going to turn this car around. And I'm going to keep you here with me while I do it, to demonstrate my beautiful driving skills. We on some grass right now, type shit. Let's try not to get stuck in that. So hopefully we don't get the sun in our face too much. Ah shit, yeah, forgot I want to be on this side, because this is where the fucking sun is. Is that too bright? Whatever, I don't care. We're gonna get the sun in our face just a little bit. It's like we're just outside in the sun right now, because I originally wanted to record this outside, but I figured, like, it's cold today. It's April 15th and it's still cold out, And it sucks. Like, we've had some very nice warm days, and today's not one of them, sadly, but it's okay. Yeah, as I was saying, I am unemployed. It's something a lot of autistic people struggle with. I've been unemployed ever since I finished high school, which is which would be just about 10 months. I have had some work on the side, but it's never been very consistent. It's never been like a full-time thing. And yeah, I mean, it's been very it's been a very growthful experience to have that amount of time to just be free with myself, you know, because it really makes you realize. I'm gonna take my seatbelt off. Get comfortable, my friends. Having that much time to be alone with yourself really makes you realize some things about life, I guess. To me, it didn't, like, you might think it would make you a kind of person who indulges a lot, who is always playing video games or always getting high or something like that. And to me, it wasn't. Oh, I just realized I can put the sun visor up. Oh, but now I'm in shadow. That doesn't really look as good. Can I do that? Nah. Actually, that kind of works. Nah. Lord. It to me, it didn't make me that kind of person. It made me very much realize that time isn't the only resource you want to. Time isn't something. It might sound nice to have all of the time in the world. And in a way, of course it was, you know. But there's a big caveat to that, which is this idea that it's kind of like the yin yang, you know. Joy can only exist if there is sadness, you know. Freedom can only exist, like pure freedom, being able to do anything you want, only exists when there are some aspects that are not free. And that might not apply to like the richest person on earth who was born with rich parents, but you know what I'm saying, right? And so having all the time in the world was not personally the best experience, right? Because I might have had a more positive experience if that bound that's not a word, if that plentiful amount of time was something that I had worked to provide myself with. But since it wasn't, and it was just given to me out of circumstance, it's incredibly hard to see that as the gift that it is when all around you you're seeing that, like, this is a result of your lack of character, you know, or your lack of dedication or motivation or strength of character. And so yeah, it's hard to appreciate when you are given that. And it doesn't mean I was unable to, you know. I of course hung out with some people the people who are important to me. I, of course, had a lot of time to work on my passions, like music. I had a lot of time to go outside and go on walks and biking and go on a few trips. But there was a lot of time, probably an equal amount of time, that was spent either just like rotting away on YouTube or, yeah, basically that. And well, yeah, one thing it did help me realize was the kind of relationship I have with the internet and social media, and how I do have agency over that. And that's a great feeling, because I used to spend, I used to go on Instagram for one thing and spend a, an annoying amount of time on there. And having infinite time means you're going to spend, if you have habits that make you spend a lot of time on something, you're really going to notice. Excuse me. And so, whenever I went on Instagram too much, I would notice that. I would pick up on it. And, you know, I try to be someone who is conscious of their behavior and is mindful of certain ways they can change it or try to change it. And so, being on Instagram too much, you know, I tried just deleting Instagram. And personally, for me, that worked. But you know what I didn't do? I didn't tell myself, don't go on Instagram. Because you got to give yourself some room, you know? I still get messages from people on Instagram. I still need to check events and things like that sometimes. And that's pretty much it. It's pretty much just those two things. But, you know, I still give myself the leeway. Is that the right word? I don't know. But I still let myself check Instagram, of course, because you can't really live without that. But yeah, you gotta be nice to yourself sometimes. You can't be making these rules up to solve things and then getting mad at yourself when they're too harsh. You know, you gotta take every victory where you can see it, and not be making yourself, not be trying to go too far and then falling down. You know, that's what I'm saying. We got a monster. I forgot. I'm gonna try to drink this in this whole video. I still got like a little more than half. Delicious. But you know, might not be a NEET, as they call them, for too long anymore, because I'm gonna be going to truck driving school. And it's, to be fair, it is in 3 months. So I have another 3 months of having this life. But at the very least, it's going to be more filled with joy, because my friends are going to be home for the summer and I miss them. I want to have some beautiful times with them. And you know, the money I have saved, I'm okay with spending a chunk of that on making memories, going out to eat with them, and just having a wonderful time with life, because I think that is more important than, okay, it's not more important than saving money. Saving money is really important, but there's a ratio, you know, there's an amount of money that you can allow yourself to spend on things you love, you know. That's what I'm saying. And so yeah, we got a bit more time to myself to just live, and I don't know how I feel about that, you know. I feel like I might miss this part of my life, but it's obviously something I need to get out of. And it's something I'm looking forward to. I have been employed, but it's not like I've wanted to be like that, you know. I tried to get out of it, and it's very rough, especially with how bad the market is right now, and with me being autistic, the social stuff doesn't come easy for me, and so it's a struggle for sure. But you know what, guys? We are gonna be all right. I'm hope-filled. I'm hope-filled. Indeed. And I'm looking up towards the future. I think it's gonna be beautiful. If you'd like to see the sun again, it's coming up a fair bit more. I did want to record, I said I wanted to record this outside. I also wanted to record this under a bridge at 6:30 a.m. to watch the sunrise go up, which honestly, I think I will do that next. I might do that with a Red Bull. Indeed. And yeah, but today I had to drive my a loved one to their work, and so the timing would not have worked out to be there at 6:30, but it's all right. We will find a better time, indeed. What's another topic? I had a couple in my head before I started this, but I did just wake up and I was thinking about that yesterday, so I'm bad at thinking when people are watching. Give me a moment. I guess I can further explain to you my backstory with energy drinks. So I used to surround myself with some people who had certain coping mechanisms, if you can put it like that, that were not the best. And what I'm saying is, it was mainly one friend who did a fair bit of substances, chemicals, you know. And there's just a Kia Soul going kind of slow. That's not a Kia Soul. That's like a big ass Infinity. What am I saying? I used to surround myself with people who did drink energy drinks, and a lot of them were surrounded by people who did more than that. And so I was just kind of around that. And, you know, I've been offered to vape more times than I can count. And I've never wanted to, okay, I can't say I've never wanted to get into that, because I cannot lie to you. The idea of vaping or smoking a cigarette is incredibly appealing. And that's the problem, right? The problem isn't that cigarettes are uncool. Cigarettes are cool. The problem is that cigarettes kill you. You know, that's the problem. And so that's the way I've always seen it, and I'm incredibly grateful that even at a younger age I was able to see that and to make the very conscious decision to not get into that. I did accidentally smoke tobacco once, I will say, because my friend gave me a spliff. No, it wasn't meant to be a spliff, okay? It was a joint made with, like, I don't know what you call it, but like the crumbs that are left in a grinder, right? But the problem was that they had made a spliff, and they forgot it wasn't just weed in there. There was a bit of tobacco as well. And so I was the first to hit the spliff. No, it's not I was the first to hit the joint. And so I realized, I was like, oh, my head is spinning. And then they hit it, and they were like, oh shit, that's not weed. It's like, oh, Good to know. Well, in a way, I am grateful that technically I got to try it without wanting to, because I would never want, I don't think I would ever do it on purpose. I might try it one day, but it would, it would be a decision I think about a lot. But in a weird way, I'm grateful I got to try it and that I never tried it on purpose, you know? I like trying things, like energy drinks. They're fun. So yeah, that's just a fun little story. But yeah, as I was saying, I used to be the same way. Okay, not the same way, but I definitely distanced myself from energy drinks for a fairly long time, up until I was like 15, I think. And I think my friend was drinking one, and they were done with it like halfway through, and so they just gave me half, and I just drank that, and I enjoyed it. And it kind of grew from there. Like one day, excuse me, my friend was at the corner store and she got me one. And so that was my, no, because my first full energy drink was actually OG Monster. I just went to the mall. I was at the mall and I was like, today I'm going to try an energy drink. I'm going to have my first full energy drink. As I got an OG Monster from Walmart, I think I made a good choice with that first, I don't got words. The first one, you know what I'm saying. And so I wasn't having them regularly for a pretty long time. And then my friend got me one. And then I started getting into trying a bunch of different drinks. And so I would try all of the rock stars. I was very into the sugar-free original Rockstar for a bit as I was getting into them. And the habit kind of just grew from there to the point where I was having one or two daily. And there have been points where it's been like two daily, but I've always kind of hovered around one. I've taken a couple breaks, but I've never wanted to quit them fully, because they are just something that brings me a lot of joy. And so currently I am still hovering around one daily, but usually it's not a full-sized 160 milligram energy drink anymore. Like if I'm using real examples, like today I'm having a Monster. Yesterday I had a Mayo Energy Grape. Those are like powdered energy drinks you put in water, and those are only 80 milligrams. The day before that, I didn't have any caffeine. I don't think so. And the day before that, I actually had two, but they were smaller ones. It was the Guru sparkling water energy. And yeah, so that was like 200 milligrams total. I try to not go much over that, but you know, it is what it is. I've been moderating a lot more. There are just days where I don't have one sometimes, and I do need to think about it a little. Like I need to, like, it's not natural really. Like I need to put some thought into it. Like, okay, I don't really need one today, so I'm not gonna have one. But other than that thought, like, I don't get many thoughts about them after that, which I am grateful and appreciative for, you know. Doesn't feel good to be like battling an urge all day. And so I'm glad it's not like something that occupies too much of my brain. Like, it feels like it's something I need. Now, would I be able to go without energy drinks? I mean, if they never existed, of course I could. But with the knowledge I have and how much I love them, I don't think I could fully enjoy my life without energy drinks in them. Like, if I was like forcing myself to stay away from them, I don't know how fun that would be, you know? I think in life you gotta have something to look forward to, you know? And especially when you wake up, just that motivation to get out of bed and just live your life. To me, energy drinks, when I'm in the morning in bed trying to wake up, and I remember that there is a cold, refreshing Monster Ultra in the fridge, that feeling is such a pure happiness and motivator to me that I really appreciate, and it helps me get on with my day and just get things done, especially if I'm working on music. If I'm writing music, then energy drinks are a great thing to be doing while I'm doing that, because it's two things I love, and it's like the energy drink is motivating me to do music, you know, and I love them for that, you know. It's I would definitely say, to me, they're a positive part in my life, and so it kind of, I don't know, it just doesn't feel good to see people who are like always shitting on them and being like, oh, those are gonna kill you. Like caffeine for healthy, okay, these are your two right here, right? Healthy adults, right? Caffeine for healthy adults is not a problem. And caffeine in energy drinks is the only thing that's going to fuck you up, right? Energy drinks are my special interest. I think I know, I'm not a fucking scientist, okay? But I've seen enough research, and I've seen enough lack of research. That's the thing too. Not lack of research, but lack of conclusive evidence, right? If something was bad, when we know it's bad, we know cigarettes are bad, we know sugar is bad, we know too much saturated fat is bad. If fucking glucuronolactone was bad, if fucking taurine was bad, if having fucking 12,000% of your vitamin B12 was bad, I think we would know for 100% certain by now. And that's the way I see it, you know. I haven't seen it affect my health badly, or really any other healthy adult's health badly. Of course, if you have heart problems, energy drinks are not for you, but that's because caffeine is not for you. It's not anything else in there that's going to mess you up, you know, except the sugar, which of course you got to be aware of. This has just about twice the recommended limit of sugar for women. The limit is a little bit higher for men, but I mean, you got to be careful with it, and that's why I usually don't have sugar energy drinks. I kind of prefer the sugar-free ones, honestly. It kind of feels just better to me to have a something that isn't sugary in my mouth, because the sugar kind of like stays in there a bit, and it's not the most pleasant thing, for me at least. But definitely for health reasons as well, I try to stick to to sugar-free energy drinks. What was I saying? I was saying my backstory. Yeah, we're all caught up to the present now, where I'm having about one a day, and you know, I'm enjoying life. I still go on YouTube a bit too much, but I am making a conscious effort to partake more in my hobbies, to read more, although that is something I do struggle with a tiny bit. But when I get out of the house and I go to a library, it's a lot easier to read for me, which I do appreciate. I do appreciate doing that. It's definitely something fun. Ooh, there's some birds. I don't know what those are. They're birds, that's for sure. We're almost done the can. Damn. I talked for 45 minutes straight. Okay, not straight. Almost straight. That's big. That for me that's big. That's something I can look back upon and be like, I do know how to talk. I'm fine. You know, I don't know. It's a nice thing to just be able to sit with myself and talk to you type shit. It's kind of therapeutic to just be out here chilling, enjoying life, and partaking in something I love. It's a beautiful thing. You know, I wish there were more, I don't know. I just see myself, I am low key like an energy drink sommelier, right? I wish there were more people like that who appreciated really just anything on the level that I do, you know? Like, but that's just the result of it being my special interest, you know? My special interests right now are energy drinks. It for a long time it's been energy drinks and music. And recently I think I'm kind of adding cars to that, you know? Because I love cars, especially designs. It's just super fascinating to me how they change over the years and how different companies have their different design styles and all that. I just love I also like learning car names. Like I like just being able to look at traffic and like, oh, that's a that's a Volkswagen. I don't know which Volkswagen. I don't care about. That's the Cadillac something. Okay, they're all SUVs right now, so I don't know what any of them are, but I like looking at traffic and being able to tell that is a Toyota Tacoma, that is a Dodge Grand Caravan. I think that's like a, oh, I don't know what that is, but it's definitely cool. Stuff like that. It's just super fun to me. My dream, okay, I don't know if dream car is the right word, but my goal car is the Scion TC, of course. Now Scion and Saturn are two car brands that I have the utmost of appreciation for, because to me they both represent this spirit of openness and creativity, and this, I feel like this, their both of their aura around appealing to the youth, but in doing that they are doing, like, a part of that is just that they're doing something different, and or were doing something different. Rest in peace. We need them back, guys. We need them back. But yeah, Scion Saturn, where it's at. Yeah, so why the Scion TC? So here are my needs, right? I want a coupe. I want something that's cool. That's just what one of my priorities are, you know, like, deal with it. I enjoy a fine looking car, if I do say so myself. That is something that I very much enjoy. What else do I want? I want reliability, and you can't beat that Toyota reliability. Excuse me. A little 10-year-old Scion TC with 100,000 miles. That's what I'm looking for. You can get one for like probably 10,000 Canadian around here. There's one in Ontario I'm really wanting. It's got black and orange paint, but I'm sure it'll sell by the time I have enough money to get it. But you know, it is what it is. I'll find one and I will love the shit out of that thing. That's just one of my goals in life, you know. I really want one of them Scion TCs. They're beautiful cars. They're the gas mileage, you know, it's not bad. It's not good. It's 27 miles per gallon. You get what you get. It's not a fast car, but it's a fun car. I want a manual. I want to lug them gears. I think that's a bad thing. I think lugging gears, or like lugging your engine, is a bad thing. I want to flip them gears in, and yeah, I think I probably know how to drive manual because I've watched enough car YouTube to know how it works. I've just never done it in real life, so I don't know if I actually can, but I feel like I must be able to. I mean, it can't be that much different in real life than the videos. Hopefully, anyways. I can't know for sure, but it's definitely something I wanna try. You know, I'm realizing in truck school, I'm gonna learn how to drive probably an 18-speed semi-truck manual before I'm gonna know how to drive a fucking tiny Corolla fucking coupe 6-speed. That's funny. That's kind of funny. Like, anyways, yeah, it's just another one of my things I'm into. There's a yellow Nissan Juke over there. I have so many thoughts about the Nissan Juke because it's ugly. It's ugly, but you know what else it is? It's fucking weird and it's quirky, and I like it for that. Like, if I had, I don't know if, I'm pretty sure they're front wheel drive, but if I had the need for an all-wheel drive small SUV and I could get a manual Nissan Juke in decent shape for a decent price, I might go for that, genuinely. Like, they are so quirky, and the style, of course, the styling is weird and kind of bad, but I love those like door styles where the back door is on the window and it kind of makes it look like a coupe, even though it doesn't. You know, it doesn't. But I like that about the Ford Mustang Mach-E. You know, I hate that it's a Mustang electric crossover, but I can't lie and say that it's a bad looking car, because it's not. You know, I do enjoy the looks of that. And I don't mind the looks of the Nissan Juke. It's weird, but it's weird in a way that I can appreciate, you know? Yeah. Let's have another. Oh, almost out. Final sips, y'all. Gotta get every last drop out. You know me. If y'all want this code, this Black Ops 6 code, I think it's only if you're playing Black Ops in Canada. But, I mean, you know, maybe there's someone out here in Canada who's playing Black Ops 6. CWJRN M9FKC. Hope you enjoy that fucking whatever you're getting. Anyways, I think that's where we gotta end this one, honestly. I've said what I have wanted to say for the most part. I think next time I do this, I will come with a list of topics, so I don't need to have my mind wandering about just as much. But this is definitely something I have enjoyed, and I'm thinking I will do it again, most likely with a Red Bull under a bridge, watching the sun go up. There is nothing that sounds better than that, my friend. That sounds amazing. So yeah, I think this is where I will leave you, my friend. I hope you have an extraordinary day, just as marvelous as mine is going at the moment. And so yeah, my name is Luca. I hope you're having a fantastic day, and I'll see you in the next one.